evening, everybody. How you guys doing? Hell's Cat Death here, bringing you another. Well, I can't say another. This is Tuesday night, isn't it? So Hell's Cat Death bringing you GTL coverage live here on Wednesday Night Fights. Got one hell of a fight: PPW versus ONUR6. Glad to see both teams coming out for the GTL. I'm in a party right now with one of the administration and one of the staff members here. So I want to give a big giant shout out. What's going on there, Sin? How you been doing, sir?
Good. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad, sir. Not too bad. Super excited. It's finally happening. It's launched.
Yes, it has. The time has come.
And of course, the GTL staff in here tonight with us with guest commentary, none other than what up, homie? What up, Big Slice?
Howdy. Glad to be here.
Yes,
It's awesome to see GTL finally taking off.
Right? We are finally...
All the kinks and bumps have been worked out. And we're here with the final product.
Right, exactly.
Prelims for tonight to decide who is going to be in our chance bracket for the NA. This will be a good matchup because both teams have been performing pretty well as of late. ONUR6 is, of course, been a storied clan. Always have been there, always have performed. And PPW has been on the rise, putting out pretty good performances as of late.
Right, yeah.
So this is what brought us here.
Very seasoned clan versus a very, one of the new up-and-coming teams. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
PPW, and they bring it, man. When they go full on, they can definitely throw up some good damage. Sin,
Oh heck yeah!
do you go ahead and do some? This is the opening night of it, kickoff.
Absolutely.
Run through the GTL stuff, everything. You take it over, sir.
So, as you all know, as most people have kind of followed along, this season, going into season 2 of GTL, it was kind of a learning curve. In season 1, got off to kind of a rough start, and things went awry pretty quickly. So we kind of took the knowledge we got from season 1, made a lot of changes for season 2, and really just tried our best to make this something for the community. This season, we wanted to focus a lot more on the players and the clans and getting them more involved and giving them something more to look at. I think one of the things that was important to me, and I think important to the rest of the staff, was, in all the other tournaments you look at and everything you look at, all you ever see is, hey, here's a clan on Discord, here's how their standings are. This season, we're going to try to incorporate more of a website system. Basically, we do have a website. It's onextralife.com, which is ONEXTRA life.com. And it's not 100% done yet. However, I have been working around the clock to get it buttoned up, get a schedule out there, get all the teams done. As you all know, it's 8 versus 8. And the interesting thing about this is you can draw. So if no verdict has been reached, basically you don't cap out, or kill more tanks than your enemies, neither team is going to get a win. The other thing that we've incorporated this season, we started off with a lot more money than we started off with last year. Last year we started off with $0. This year we've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to have some kind of sponsorship money, and we're already starting with almost $600, I believe, in the pot, and that will continue to grow. So it's going to give something back to the players, and I'm excited for this. And I hope you guys are too. And I think one of the big shout outs we want to get to right now is the one sponsor that I can reveal their name right now. They are on board, and that is Fatal Grips. They've been nice to us. They have given us a link. So if you need grips for your controls, if you haven't tried one, honestly, try it out. You'd be shocked at how much it can actually improve your game. And you can view them at fatalgrips.com.
We got these websites going up there in the chat. And then I will be, as a streaming aspect for Fatal Grips, we'll be running commercials and stuff through while tanks are being picked and changed and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be really fun, really interesting. I think it's going to be, and then for people who are going to be watching at home, We're going to be doing Wednesday night fights. We're going to incorporate a lot of the GTL matches onto Wednesday if the teams will do it. So try to give you guys as much coverage here on WNF as much as I can everywhere for you guys. So it looks like we're finally getting tanks picked here going. Looks like we're going to be Ravage Capital. Maybe Slice, you want to roll down the rules really fast for everybody who has
All right, your ruling, well, for when you're moderating, it's going to be a 180-second timer, 3 minutes. Or not 3 minutes, goodness gracious. It's going to be a timer of 180 seconds. Your teams will be able to pick within that time limit. Then once, of course, timers, once they stop, game started. As for tank picks, you can have 2 of same TDs. 2 same TDs, max same of 2, which is interesting, not like many other tournaments. So you can't see the old meta of 3 IS7s and, 4 bat chats, or, how you used to see back in the day around when, the last WCL rolled around. Right. So it's pretty interesting here. It allows more tanks to be played. You'll see more 277s. You'll see, tanks being picked, that you don't see all the time.
Right. Yeah, you're not going to see the stacked up 3 IS7s anymore. So you'd have to have 2 IS7s, and if you're wanting a third one, well, you're going to have to look towards maybe a 5A or the 705A, or there's a good plethora of good side scraping kit tanks. Hell, the new VK72 isn't too bad.
I'm kind of excited to see some of these. Jumping away from that for a moment, I'm excited for some of these new teams to come in and play. I'm excited to see Punish come out and play on stream. I can't wait for that. That'll excite me. I can't wait. Y'all know MVG, good friend of mine. Pretty much all the guys in Punish are good friends of mine, so I'm excited to see those guys. And I think looking at the teams we have in front of us tonight, everybody's going to agree that ONUR6 has been around for a long time, and they've always been considered, in the top half as one of the better clans in the game for a long time. So for them, you always got to consider ONUR6 for a championship type of caliber team, because they have been for so long. Well, and on the other side, you have...
Yeah, exactly. Keep going, sir. Keep going.
And on the other side, you got PPW. I remember PPW, the first time I was ever exposed to them was during WCL2. Nightmare went against them, WCL3, I'm sorry. Nightmare went against them in WCL3. They put up a really good fight. And, I think this team has just gotten better over time. If you think back to the Global Wars, the global map.
Yeah, I heard they did really,
I think they had the best record overall. I believe, as far as wins and losses goes. So they got to get a little bit of consideration, and we're going to put them to the test right here against a really seasoned team.
All right, so I'll go down PPW there, Sin, if you want to go down ONUR6. So PPW, Fu Man coming out in the E4, Possum 430U, Jake, Caesar IS7s, Mortal, Killin, both in Machines, Rainbow, and Pre-Adult Baton, and Super Conks. Sinister, you want to go down ONUR6?
I am sorry, I had my mic muted. I was just kind of talking along to myself, I guess.
No problem.
So Sir Thunder rolling around in his T110E4, Cav Ranger in an Object 140, Cutter and Lonky both in IS7s, SVT Kill to Live and Beaver both in Machines, Evil Knievel in a Super Conk, and Patangi in a WZ 111 5A.
Interesting pick with the 140 here. I think you're gonna see 2 machines almost pretty standard this season. I'd say they're just so flexible.
They are.
They're
very
the all-arounder tank. They're not going to be the best brawlers, but on a map like this where it's corridor heavy, a flank can happen like that. Where you don't have long lines of sight, other than going to the field, of course.
Well, the machine
flank can happen, very quickly.
Yeah, the machine. That's one thing with the 50B aspect of it. It can scoot, and then the only thing I do see with the machine.
We're rocking and rolling here.
All right, here we go. First game out. But yeah, with the machine, it has a hard time turning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a brawler either. That thing is gonna get punished on corners.
Yeah, it's definitely
You know,
you're
it's
you're
very
taking.
easy tank to counter.
Yes, and it's one of those if you calculate one of those popping, when you peek out and you try to get off two shells, you can get seriously messed up in that tank. Um, with it being ammo rack prone and also fire very very fire prone.
Oh yeah, it has that 50B hole. It keeps that same. I wouldn't say awful. It's not a Chinese ammo rack, but
Right.
it's French, so it's covered in baguettes rather than bamboo.
Yeah, exactly. Some day olds. All right, here we go, guys.
Yeah.
Looks like PPW is going to go for the field right off the bat.
And
Ooh.
on your
They got
six is
PPW got
doing
these
the same.
split spawns here. Yeah, that's the only thing I really enjoy about this map here is having these split spawns, but I guess I can see as to why they brought this faster setup here out of ONUR6. ONUR6 is going to get there with most of their forces pretty quickly. More are going to be there on cap, providing pressure,
Right.
or just setting up, waiting for crossfires here. This is a very interesting map. I would
One
have
of the big
brought
things to this map,
maybe a FV or something because it has such
you got to
long view
control
ranges in the field.
All right, trying
you
to
have
get
to control
everybody.
the top side of the cap.
PPW
Yes.
hanging way
I
back.
You
think
have to
that's
control that
important.
area.
Wow.
Yeah, working through the A line though is very interesting. It's high risk, high reward because at the same time you have two
Oof.
tanks cut off, but at the other time you have a safe way to get in their face. Oh, E4 got punished.
Fullman got punished trying to get through there.
Yeah.
And now Rainbow is getting punished trying to get up on the steps.
Yeah. But there's so many different ways you can play this map here. But it
Machines
looks
are
like ONUR6
rotating
is
on,
taking up a
on the
brawl.
bottom side as well.
Yeah,
They're gonna-
they've opted for.
They might see the
these
overmatch on the
I7s,
E4.
E5As.
Let's see if they take it.
But if they take, it could be not a bait per se, but it's kind of, a movement of opportunity. But he might get punished for that, or what could happen is they rotate on top of that E4, then an immediate
going
push
for
comes
it.
out from the front. Yep. Expect to see a
And he
push
takes the
frontally
shot.
from ONUR6 here, going on to these super conks. As soon as this E4 calls out, that yep, ONUR6 should react pretty quickly, because they're not going to lose this tank for free. Or they're going to rotate back on 140 maybe. Oh, IS-7 and 140 rotating back. Okay, they made a good trade here. ONUR6 up with pretty high HP on top of them here. PPW can still recover the.
Caesar's
PPW
putting himself in a
sending-
good spot. He's going to get that
Yeah,
IS-7
these two
pulled
IS-7s
down
here are
right
going to put
behind the
them in a
barrier.
heavy cross. The thing about it is they
He's
have
gotta
that
be
one
tough
super
to
conk
dig out.
there. Yeah, but they have that one super conk there. In this spot, it's nice to have, but as soon as you get cross the middle, as soon as you cross the threshold of the middle of the map, that super conk's isolated because they're going to be down behind those dips and everything.
If those two IS-7s can get some work in on Lonky and Cav Ranger, and then
Mhm.
3 tanks on the back side of them, they can really
And
put
they're
a
not
world
going
of
for the
hurt on
push.
them right here.
Yeah, they're not going for the push.
ONUR6
ONUR6
needs
seems
to
content just to
capitalize.
wait. Yeah. Their team is extremely split. You see here, they're splitting their forces to match, but I don't think they needed to match them anywhere. They needed to push somewhere and use that to their advantage.
They're
now
gonna take out
playing-
the super
yep,
conk right
they're-
here.
They're taking out super conk.
Yeah. There we go. There's the
There
push.
it
and
is. And the one
I think
shot.
Lonky and Cav Ranger
U4.
shouldn't have pushed there, but they might using that as a distraction. And Cutter's keeping off these two IS-7s here pretty nicely. ONUR6 coming up with the gun advantage here. PPW is going to trade with them here, it seems, though. This 140 and Cav Ranger and Lonky.
It's gonna be close.
Very much so. I think in the
Neck
end,
and
though,
neck.
ONUR6 is going to keep the positioning on them. Because look at this here. ONUR6 has cut them off in every position and almost. Because these IS-7s are caught out. They can't rotate anywhere safely. They can't rotate anywhere. They have cap pressure, keeping the conk and the 5A away from them. But this conk might get caught out.
Killed
This
the
is gonna
lives in
be
a tough
good.
spot right now. He's got to
Yeah.
be careful about this.
Tangy.
And
Oh,
Machine gets
Machine's
racked.
a 1. Ooh, Evil Knievel here is going to... They need to make this push in these IS-7s.
They're gonna take out the super conk right here.
Yep. Their team is extremely split. You see here, they're splitting their forces to match, but I don't think they needed to match them anywhere. They needed to push somewhere and use that to their advantage. Supercon needs to make sure these guys bleed for that. Get a kill out of it. No, push for... As long as he gets damage out of it, it's not too bad of a trade. Both the machines are on reload.
Machines are reloading.
430U.
Oh, and the 430U hits the track.
I think they're going to see an unfortunate...
Ow.
Oh, he killed the 430U! This is really interesting now. Both machines are on reload, but this Super Kong who's live. That's the main thing.
Mortal's
that
still
gun
got
is going to keep
1600 HP though.
Yes. But we have... But that other machine is HE-able, so... His turret... Oh, Caesar's surviving pretty long here.
Close. He's going to reload.
Secure that kill there. There we go. Secure that kill.
Couldn't get away from Beaver.
Let's see here, the terrain. This machine might get killed here. Patangi and Beaver are in pretty okay spots, but HE is fairly even, I'd say.
Wow, neck and neck.
They're both trapped. They've both trapped each other. PPW can mic it out, but ONUR6 is completely trapped. The only thing they could do is fight them or brawl them here, or try and make a push across, you know, literally a no man's land.
Well, both of them have.
Mo, thank you for the follow.
one low
Welcome
health
to the WNF. Welcome to the GTL.
Yes, sir. Another one to have at the viewing pleasure.
Definitely so far a good opening match. This is exactly what we wanted to see.
Oh,
It was a
yeah.
nice close a close match, and I like what Beaver's doing here and how he's rotating, and they're just going to put some angles on him.
I'm surprised they didn't
That makes a
punish
big
Beaver
difference.
for what he did, but he kind of has the terrain to his advantage. If they can HE the other machine, if this 5A can mic and knock him out with some HE. Patangi's rotating out for free, man. They had the superior positioning. I don't know why they gave it up like that. Now ONUR6 has out-leveraged them here pretty much. Yep.
Oof.
It's going to be a slow work down from here, I'd say.
I don't think Beaver's fully loaded. I think Beaver's missing 2 shots still. I don't know if Mortal's aware of that, though. I think he's still thinking Beaver's on full clip.
Yeah, he could bluff a reload.
But he's going to let
this is gonna be
Patangi
good.
reload for free. Yeah,
Oh,
let him
nope,
reload
Beaver's
for free.
fully loaded. Beaver is fully loaded. This is a win for ONUR6 here. That's some weird RNG
Oh, and
happening.
Mortal goes to reload.
Mortal's on reload!
Oh man, Beaver's coming in.
He better run.
Beaver can ram him. Patangi's going to be ready to fire. He probably has it right there. Yep, there it is.
And that's it right there.
ONUR6 takes it. Congratulations. First round of the GTL victory goes to ONUR6, right? There hasn't been no other GTL matches done?
None
Look at
yet,
that damage,
sir.
man.
No, sir.
Congratulations, ONUR6.
If that E4 would have put one shot in somewhere, I think that would have went to PPW. And one more shot in from their super from Rainbow Castle would have definitely turned this game.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Do some damage here while they're swapping the teams across, and I'm going to put that first commercial across for Fatal Grips. High side of PPW, Mortals and his machine coming in the 3 kills, 36, 31, 21, 21, 14. Not
21,
bad.
21.
Yeah, not bad. 21, 21. That's not too bad. Caesar over there in his IS-7, 39, 23, blocking 24, 30. The 430U, yet again, he's blocking 1660 with 2k damage. Over on the ONUR6 side of the world, Patangi coming in at 3977, 4 kills. He's going 19, 15, 10. Beaver and his machine working at 36, 17, 2 kills. Blocking 1290. Evil and his super conk, man, putting in some work, 37, 44. And also getting a kill there. And then Skill to Live, 2683. GG's, guys. Here you go.
Great game. That was a great first game.
Yes, sir. And here we go.
So I think this
All
time
right,
through,
everyone's flip.
I'd like to see when you have the upper hand, when those 3 tanks went off to fight the E4, that's a clear sign that you're missing 3 tanks out of the game. There's 3 guns out of the game on 1 tank. capitalize on that. You know their reforce hurting. Get in there and just take care of it. They did get the win, but this time through, I'd like to see a little bit more rotate. And from the PPW side, I'd like to see get to where you're going and get there a little bit faster. Don't wait so long to get yourself in a position. They took bad routes to get to where they needed to go first.
That
They did a good job on the overmatch, but they took a bad path to get there. So this time through, get to where you're going, get there quick. Position
that comes
means
with
everything.
playing unfamiliar maps, though. I'd say if you play a map you're not familiar with, you're not going to understand like the angles or how quickly people are going to get to certain positions, and I think that's a mistake they won't make again. But yeah, you hit the nail on the coffin there.
So we'll see how this plays out in round 2. I'm excited. Let's
Oh,
see if we can get another good match like we had there.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to hold back like reserves because yet again, Lonky, Beaver, Cutter, love those guys to death. All of ONUR6, I got it. I'm trying to stay as neutral as possible, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, it's okay. I can totally feel where you come from on that. As most of you guys know here, as an admin, I do not play in GTL, and I am not partial to, as you know, my own team Nightmare.
Cough.
I make sure everything's fair across the board.
Yep,
so
everything's legit.
I can feel your pain sometimes.
Yeah, FaZe is not resigned. I guess you could say taking a step back from Nightmare almost this season, correct?
Yeah. I don't play in GTL since being an admin. Admins don't play in GTL, so yep. iDojo pretty much runs it for GTL.
Shout out to Dojo.
Should we start early or should we wait for timer to count down?
That is.
I prefer to wait for timer to count down.
Yep,
Because always
I'm
do
okay
those
either way.
last second tank picks.
last second tank picks, exactly. It's all
I
good.
got a funny story about that actually. Is last season when we were doing a
I
preseason
remember.
match that happened with LG, they deselected a tank playing against, I forget who I think they might have been playing DP actually. They're going against DP and they deselected right the last couple of seconds because they're going to flip a tank, and the room host just launched it on them. So, oops.
Yeah, that's a oops. All right, really fast here. Cavs at a 140. Jedi and the IS-7 with Lonky. SPD to kill with Beaver and the Machines. Evil. Cutter at Bolton, Super Conks, Patangi, and the 5A. Go ahead, someone over there.
And over on PPW, you got Sifuman in a T110E4, Nero Possum in an Object 430U, Jake the Viking and Caesar in IS-7s, Pounce and Killin' for Fun, both in Machines, Rainbow Castle and Deluxe, both in Super Conks.
All right, let's get into the game.
At the end of this round, I'm going to be giving away a Tier 8 free premium tank to somebody. So, exclamation point WNF. You will be. You can get
Hellscat
entered.
always hooking up the community.
Right? I try. Man.
Hooking up everybody.
What am I going to give away tonight? Let's see here. Look into the goodie bag.
Would you happen to have the new what is it? The new 105? I forgot what the actual.
Oh, the Yag.
They call it the Striker.
Yeah, the Yag Canon 105.
The Striker. Yeah.
I cannot confirm or deny those allegations. No, I don't have that one.
Would you have to kill me if you said that?
No, not yet. We'd be getting. I'm begging for some. I want some dreadnoughts this next time round when they're giving away stuff. I begged for some dreadnoughts for you guys, and some other little ones. I don't know if Wargaming's going to request my plea, but we'll see. All right, here we go. Everybody's heading to the field.
Once again.
You can do this all over
Seems
again.
like the same thing. Yep. I think it's the 1-2 line spawn has superior positioning on them. Seeing it's not as open, but they're pretty mirror matched. PPW going for an early push with those IS-7s.
I think
they're-
ONUR6 did a
they're
lot
going
better
for what they
job
want.
of coming through from their side instead of like last time where PPW went a little bit further north. They did a good job of staying a little bit further south. But now they're going to be bottled up at the staircase, and they're all kind of caught in one spot.
Yep. which is not a bad thing though. But it's not the best thing because you can always rotate out of it, seeing as the terrain allows you to do that from both sides, somewhat for free depending on the angles. But I see Cav Ranger here is this is gonna be a hard brawl for Cav Ranger depending on the gun depression for this IS-7.
Right. Well, and then also PPW does have a 3-man. Yep, it will be a 3-man push. 2 machines and a 430U that is going to be coming down E line. They're just waiting, and they're not going to find anybody. So
If Cutter's not careful, he's going to take a hit from that E4. Boy, he's lucky he got out of that. And they didn't get spotted going across. They got all the way behind them without getting spotted. Ooh.
Cav Ranger's handling this brawl pretty good here, but Cutter, oh my gosh.
He's going to get
the
hurt.
push.
Cav Ranger's going to be in trouble.
Yep, this is what I was worried about.
Ooh, Cutter and Cav are going to be... They got to overmatch at the cap. Right now.
Oh, they are.
They can't turn and fight. This is going to take too long to turn and fight.
Oh, they needed to push, but they're
But
pulling
this
back.
E4
Here
is
come
gonna
the
punish them,
IS-7s.
yeah.
Here come
Yeah,
the
PPW has
IS-7s.
sprung the trap here. PPW is all on top of
That's
them.
off
There's no
to
way Cutter's getting out of this. Yep, they sprung it, and PPW didn't catch it. Or ONUR6 didn't catch their flank.
Cutter's still alive. They need to get him out of there as quick as possible because that's still a gun in the game. He's still doing work on Rainbow on the other side. PPW has to realize that. Cav is down to a 1-shot. Cutter's a 1-shot. And
ONUR6 is turning
Cav
to
is out.
face this, but at what cost? What cost here? Cav and losing Cutter out in the field. They can't even overmatch anywhere because their HP is just so low. There, they went for it. They might be able to kill Rainbow here. Oh, yeah, good job.
Yep, Rainbow's down.
But
It's
I think
gonna
that's the
be
only kill they're
close.
going to secure this game.
If
If PPW trades properly,
it's gonna be
here,
tough.
They're gonna...
It's going to be tough for them. They're in a pickle.
This one is going to be.
They're in the pickle jar.
Yeah, right now they're. I've never
Ganji
seen
got
a
his top
team
popped. That didn't help.
come from this big of a deficit.
This is what PPW wanted. Yeah, this is what
If they come
wanted
back and
here.
win this, they
They
earned it.
They would have to jump into the river over there in the
And Horsey, thank you for the follow. Welcome to WNF and our GTL coverage.
Yeah, hats off to PPW though. They sprung their trap properly.
That was good.
They sent what they wanted to. The only thing about that is that with ONUR6, if they would have known, if they knew the IS-7s were there, I don't quite get that one. And they didn't count the other tanks. You always have to count up what you have spotted and what you don't have spotted. And I think that was just a minor error on their part.
And that comes back
which,
to what I
that
was
could come through
saying
this.
about adjustments before this game began was rotating faster, rotating out of position. For me, and my big thing on this map is if you bottle yourself up over by that staircase, it is tough to get out of there without getting hurt. It's just so wide open. I've always been a fan of playing the city side of the map first, and then working on the field. I just think the superior positions from the south side of the map, not the north. But it also allows you more rotate because you got a lot more cover. Whereas you get into that field, yeah, there's a lot of hills, but in those hills, there's a lot of angles to get shot from if you're not careful. I think now we go over to PPW's pick. And this was a game they needed right here because they stole one from ONUR6, so now it goes to there. It gives them basically home field advantage now because they're going to their map. So if they can pull off 2 here, then hats off to them.
All right, I just see the map. They're gonna say they want the left side for whatever map they pick. They haven't given me the map just yet. Yes, this is the lazy way to.
Tomorrow night, another good matchup between RNC and AMD, and these two teams will be playing for a spot into the Pro League.
Yes, they
tomorrow.
will.
Yep.
With the loser going to the Intermediate League. So that's going to be at 10 o'clock tomorrow on Wednesday Night Fights, so make sure to check it out.
And a lot of our
And
viewers
I
are starting to
believe,
come back
who's
out
the first
now.
game?
Go ahead. Go ahead and.
Right.
Sorry, doing multiple things at once. There we go! Exclamation point
Yeah, it's
WNF.
okay.
I had a question, but we're going to change that out. But yeah, tomorrow night, live on WNF, will be at 9 p.m. SKB versus 2TC. They're doing GTL format. And then, of course, the RNC versus AMD placement match. So that's going to be pretty awesome.
Later on in the week, I haven't heard a date and a time yet.
Map is Proc also. By the way,
RDY will also be playing against HN for a shot in the Championship League as well, which is going to be a really good matchup. HN has come a long way since last season in GTL. That's run now by it's Speedy, and they've become quite the team.
Right.
RDY5, they've been around forever. They've been
Freaking
around
legends.
since I can remember, so they've always got to be considered when talking about championship caliber teams, as they've just competed for so long. Yes, they were gone for a while, but they're back and they're ready to go.
Alrighty.
So this is one of my ultimate favorite maps right here is Prokhorovka. I've always enjoyed this map. And yeah, we'll see what both teams do here.
Right.
My big thing is always controlling the cap side of it. I think the superior position is from the 7 through 9 line, 0 line versus the field side. Just hold down behind that railroad track, and it's
But here really fast.
Yeah,
let's go
North
ahead.
Spawn is always that. For North Spawn, I think the meta of this, or Proc is slowly fading into this mix mash of, I'd say it's a really caller intensified map. It's kind of it can go wrong depending on what your overall plan is, because a team could, South Spawn could say, hey, they're gonna cap turtle, or they're gonna cap Betas or whatnot, or they're gonna quick cap, and they go for all in 7 through 0 push. Then out of nowhere, North Spawn is doing a field push, and they get caught in the side or something, or they leave a tank, they leave their heavies at F6 for too long, and they don't cross the tracks properly. A lot can happen depending on what the caller wants.
Right.
But the meta for this map is changing up a lot. You have so many options to do now. It's not this usual, I go here, you come try and break this turtle because I have cap. Some teams are using that to their advantage now, which is good to see.
Well, really fast here, I just want to be like, I do have to get everybody off. Here we go. Fatal Grips commercial. Here you go. Big shout out to Fatal Grips, GTL sponsor. Here we go.
Hype.
grab a soda. I'll be right back in just a moment.
There we go. Yes, sir.
Ooh, the FV.
All right. Well, I'll go down PPW. Slice, if you want to go down ONUR6. PPW coming out near Possum, the 430U, Caesar, Fu Man, both in IS-7s. Mortal Avenues, killing you for fun, both in the machines. Pre-adult baton and deluxe in Super Conks, and Rainbow going to be busting out that Chieftain. Go ahead there, sir.
All right. On the ONUR6 side, you're going to see an FV from Cav Ranger. You're going to see 2 bad shots from Cutter and Patangi. 2 machines, Skill to Live and Beaver. Evil Knievel and a Super Conk, Jedi and another Super Conk, and you're seeing Lonky and a Chieftain. This is what GTL is bringing out with this this 2-2 format, 2 of same pretty much, is you're gonna see more Chieftains. You're gonna see more Chieftains, you're gonna see more Russian heavies, whether it be the 277, you're gonna see a whole lot more tanks being used.
Right.
A wide variety of tanks also. But other than, I know WNF has the rule of 2 different TDs. GTL doesn't have that one. It's where you can run 2 E4s if you like. I'd say that's the only thing that you're gonna see pretty similar.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty close, I think. And the only reason we did that was, honestly, it was a non-tournament type of thing, and they're like, well, why the hell, So everybody was like, well,
yeah.
I think the community grows and learns.
Don't get crushed by 2 E4s.
Right. I mean, and it's one of those
I
things.
think that was the big thing right off the bat.
Right. I mean, because everybody was really bitching about, well, you're allowed to run more than 1 TD, 2
Well, if you
E4s.
remember,
It's more of a gentlemanly thing, you know.
Right.
When Tier 10 first became a thing, because if you remember, WCL2 was Tier 9. Before
9.
that was Tier 8.
I
So
reminisce, homie.
really, WNF was kind of on the forefront of starting to play Tier 10 for competitive. And I think since it's been 10, we've never really looked back to a different type of format. And I think the big thing, people were nervous at first about playing Tier 10. I'm like, well, the TDs in there will just ruin your day.
Right.
So I kind of think that's where it all
yeah.
started from.
If you want to do here about this, I'm going to drop the news right then on this note. July 3rd, I'm looking for 2 teams that want to come out for the United States American Shootout. Tier 8 only, 754 format, only American tanks. Looking for 2 teams.
Snap.
Whew.
Expect the E5 spam and the E4
And the-
spam. There's the 57
Tier
spam.
The winner of the MVP of
Pat-
the evening, if they do
no,
not
no,
have
no,
a,
no, no, no.
if they don't
It's tier
have,
8s.
I'll hook them up with a premium tank. So the MVP of
It's
that
gonna be Pershings,
Yep.
T32s.
it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be a lot of fun. July 3rd. it's gonna be-
PPW here opting for spread.
Yeah, they're going right off the bat. They're going spread maneuver. Going to spread it across the DE line. I like it.
Both teams. Both teams.
Yeah.
If you're going to play the field, though, you really need to control that one line. That's the most important thing right now, and ONUR6 is going to give it to them for free.
Right. Well, they do have the
this
cheese
is
and the
gonna be
machines
bad
over
news.
there. So
If the machines
Some
can
teams
get
will set
to
up a
almost
trap
where
for this
Patangi
one,
is
too.
now, if they can get to where
Patangi's
Patangi is now, they're in
catching.
big trouble.
Patangi might punish this. He's gonna. I don't know how he's gonna punish this though. These lower plates from it's a bad shot, and you have
Right,
the
this
machine
might-
lower plates.
right.
It's gonna be hard. Then you have the hull cheeks, but then you have the 430U who can wiggle his way and probably get down there for free. But on your 6, and you're going pretty even for damage here. They're going for a
comes the
nice
push
front
from
with
over
cutter.
the
This is gonna be
IS7's
interesting.
pushing in now over tracks.
Oof. They
If
got to
on
be
your
careful
6
for
focus
Cutter
fires,
deeply behind him, though.
yeah,
And he's going
If on
to
your
keep
6
Fumin
focus
on
fires-
his toes.
they're gonna be doing this. Oh, they have the
Mm,
Cav Ranger
They're in trouble.
is out of position here. Oh boy.
Oh, so is Caesar.
Ooh.
Yeah,
But
PPW
that's
not
okay
pushing.
because the machines behind are, oof, tearing them up.
This is gonna be hard.
Yeah. Yet again,
They need to push up top and
The
just
deep-
hit these lower plates with these Chieftain and Super Comp.
the DPM of triple British heavy is just ridiculous. And I don't
It
care
is
how.
a mega DPM.
Yeah, right. And I mean, at a certain point, when you have 3 of those, they omit. The machine becomes junk. Clip out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pincushion.
Laser
This is going to
beams.
be close. This is
Right.
going to be
But on your
super
6s,
close.
mediums are out of position here, and PPW is just eating
Well,
up these
yeah,
guys.
they need to get
here.
over the hill. If they go over the hill now, that makes
Yep.
Cav Ranger and
If they can
Cutter
get
both
this
irrelevant.
Conqueror, if they can get this Conqueror IS7 out, it might be a closer game.
Oh.
Yikes. Well,
Well,
on your
Cutter's
6 is
still
not
got
in the
a lot of
pickle
health.
jar.
and Cav Ranger's full health. So, I mean, it's not over yet.
Yeah.
It's not over.
They're in a pickle, but not quite the jar.
Yeah, Cav needed to slide up. Once he realized that they were so
He's
far
got
out,
to be careful now.
Yeah, he
Yes.
should have been here 2 minutes ago.
Very much so. I mean, he may have lagged out, or maybe another issue may have happened, cut comms. But other than that, he should have been in this position.
Cutter's still in a good spot, though. I mean, he can still back him up, so it's not
Yeah,
over
if he
yet. It's
beats these
definitely
guys
not over. Cav Ranger's really hurting.
Cav is using that good FV armor.
Cutter's on reload.
There goes Cav.
I don't think Cutter has much way to go to get out of the way of anyone, so it looks like this one's also going to go to PPW.
Indeed. But don't
There
count
it
on your
is.
6 out just yet.
Yeah, most
Oh,
definitely.
definitely
This is
not.
the same team that, can bring it to almost any team they want to.
All right, we'll do a little bit of damage rundown.
Alright, let me get the flipping sides here.
All right. On your 6 side, bringing out some damage here. Cav Ranger did throw out about 2653. Evil coming over with a 2238. Over on the PPW side of the world, let's pick out 3700 out of Mortal Avenues. Pre-adult coming out there, 3 kills, 3K. You can't for anything, ask for anything better. Great job going out to PPW that round. I always love it. Super exciting. I always want to see games go to Game 5. Always.
Oh yeah, and that's that good old Ghost Town.
Right?
This time through, some adjustments I'd like to see out of both teams. Number one, PPW. They did a good job. Just try to, again, going back to what I said during Ravage Capital, try to get to that one line, that J1, a little bit quicker again, going in the opposite direction or whatever you're going to do.
Yep.
Capitalize quicker. They had a better chance for an overmatch right off the bat. They kind of hesitated for a little bit. They allowed one of their IS-7s to bleed because of that. On the flip side, you got to be careful with that hill on the 0 line, because if you're up on top of that hill, anything from like G4 over to G1, that general vicinity, 4 line over, we'll say 4 to 1, you're out of the fight. So if you're going to play the hill, you might want to make sure your tanks are in a position where they can be supported by that hill. Otherwise, just scrap the hill altogether. Or send something super fast up there like a light tank.
Right. Really fast here. Just got to give quite a few shout outs to a whole lot of people. JP Negri's up in the house. Hey, JP, what's going on, sir? Hey, for everybody that's out there, I have a little thing I'm trying to do. There's a person that is in the background all the time. And everybody uses his stuff. Hook him up. All right? He's not... It's one of everything, it costs him everything to run World of Tanks plans.br. So go over there, give a donate. Go give him $5. Give him a big giant shout out. You see JP out there on the battlefield. Remember, he's the one that helps out with a lot of stats that you guys want to look up all the time. That's the guy.
Yeah. When you tell him
Correct
that
me if I'm wrong, but
random
he
arty
makes-
player.
He makes all the
Go ahead.
bots.
Yes.
You know, that you guys check your MOEs on. He makes all those. He collects all that data. Everybody uses worldofclans.com/br to check their clan standings, to do ranking for tournaments. So keep that in mind. And I mean, I can personally attest, owning a website and a domain, I had to buy the domain name much like he did. And I have to pay for that every month as well. So his has a lot more data going through it and a lot more stuff going through it. So I can only imagine what he's having to fork out month in and month out. What I'll do for those guys, again, big shout out to JP. But if you get with me or send me a message or anything, and you have anything you want to sell, you just let me know, and we'll put it up for sale for you on the website and donate the proceeds to World of Tanks or WOTclans.com/BR.
There we go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Back to what you were saying about the about your new, not the new format. You're on July 3rd.
Yes. And so I wanted to find out. I wanted to go ahead and this one's going to make it bad. Just I don't care. Make 2 teams. It's going to be 10v10, baby. 10v10. If we can, if we get enough people from a team that has enough people, I want to do 754. But if you want to do 10v10 and just make it strictly, I'm flexible either which way. I made the call right there. Really fast on your 6, rolling out. Cutter in the 430U, Jedi, Lonky, both IS-7s, SPT, Beaver, Bolton Machines, Evil, Cav Ranger, Bolton, Super Conks, and Patangi coming out in that 5A. We got about 10 seconds, whoever wants to run down the other side.
Over on PPW, Nero Possum coming out with an Object 430U, Caesar and Fuman coming out in IS-7s, Pounce and Mortal Avenues and Machines, Pre-Adult Baton and Deluxe both in Super Conks, and Rainbow Castle and a Chieftain.
All right.
You know what I think
Let's
you should
get
do,
some-
Hells, is
Let's
you
get the
should,
boogie in.
you should have one person play, or maybe 2 people play Super Conks. and have 15 people play some tier 3 American tank.
No.
Send them out there to go get them.
Go out there.
Sherman versus Mouses. Sherman's versus Mouses.
No, it's got to be versus British tanks, though. It's got to be versus the British.
All
Why
right.
British?
So we're gonna give away that tank
4th
now.
of July.
Oh. Alright. I think ONUR6
Exactly.
is gonna go for a capside push.
Let's see what they do. Let's see. I don't know how I feel about machines. I do like them on the as far as a hold down here situation where they can kind of withstand and being able to, an autoloader basically. Imagine an autoloader
ONUR6
able to play
opting
hold
to
down
go.
against you.
If you're pushing that
Springer
1-2, I think
73,
autoloaders are a good
congratulations.
option.
You're the winner of the tank, sir.
Uh-oh. Hooking it up. PPW is setting up with heavies here, or no, with the machine, the 4-3. Okay, it looks like they're just gonna push straight in each other and, you know, headbutt on the 1-2 line, and it's gonna come down to whoever hits their shots the most.
Right.
2 IS-7s are gonna push out these machines pretty easily. These 2 machines are setting up for the pole.
Yeah, that's
ONUR6
gonna
is
be a
pretty
tough.
advantageous position here.
I like the setup from
They're setting up
ONUR6
for
a lot more
overmatches.
right now than I like a lot more of what ONUR6 has going on than what I do PPW. Those machines are gonna have a tough time with the IS-7s, I believe, and the 430.
Yeah, ONUR6 can push for an overmatch on either flank it wants to. The thing about PPW is they're set up in a crossfire of sorts. These
Right.
machines in the middle are going to be able to, you know, punish whatever they want, but still be able to stay safe without, you know, without too much damage. But these conks and the 5As on the left, they're gonna.
If
they're gonna
PPW
punish
pushes
whatever's in
this,
the
they're
middle.
gonna pay.
PPW now pushing, trying to do that.
ONUR6 is
pushing.
backing
Rambo's
off
gonna
the
pay for it
1-2.
right here.
ONUR6 is backing off here. This is interesting. It looks like they might be going for a push.
Counter rotate push.
It looks like
Interesting.
yep, they're gonna rotate over,
Yep.
and it looks like they're gonna look to get support from the IS-7 and the 430.
Yep,
to
they're gonna hold
stop them being
1-2 and
flanked.
push the middle.
Here
Beaver's
they
going
go.
in, getting pretty cheeky here. need to get
This is
Fu
gonna
Man
be a
out.
tough.
Yeah, but they need to
gotta
hit
go
their shots.
quickly
That's
if they're
all I
gonna
can
do it.
say. They need to hit their shots and get down in the dips.
Beaver's turret's broke.
Uh-oh.
It's no bueno.
Yep, no bueno.
Fu Man
with it.
is going to
he's in
die,
trouble.
and Beaver is going to die also. Evil Knievel just needs to keep his HP, and the 1-2 line needs to keep their HP also.
Oh, and he
to make
bounced
this
on
work out.
Fuman.
Oh.
Oh man,
Bounced it on
this is
Fuman.
like it's not going good for ONUR6 here. No one's hit.
Ugh.
Fu Man has survived way too long.
I would have liked to have seen them. Oh, and you see, that's right there. Fuman got the shot off on Evil. And that's just a simple case of letting a tank that's a one-shot living far too long.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen ONUR6 just keep going at those 3 tanks. I've always found backing off mid-push is not
No, you've
viable
already taken the
on,
damage,
proc.
so why not keep going?
I can see where they're
Especially
coming
with
from on
autoloaders,
that.
man.
You know, they're looking at this in the sense that, you know, they have an overmatch on the far side. The problem is there's just no cover, and if you don't commit to the bottom side of that gap, if you stay up too high in that gap, you're going to get shot from every angle.
Yeah.
If you're going to make that push, you pretty much got to go all the way into the dip and shoot
But
back
on your
up at them.
6, they had the advantage all the way. They could have just sat back and let PPW, you know, come straight into them. Because, I mean, why wouldn't they? They're already up a game, you know. Why not force the issue? I don't know. And once they backed off from the machines over here with their IS-7 430U, that's where I think it started to go downhill. For them,
Oh, my
at
hat's
least.
off definitely to both teams.
Right.
Heck, you darn tootin'. PPW brought it out here, man.
Right. And so, what does this mean now? They're
So
Sinister.
big congratulations to PPW. You guys have qualified now to play the Championship League this season. And that does not mean that ONUR6 is out yet. ONUR6, we're going to look to get set up with the loser of HN versus RDY5. I don't currently have a time that those 2 are going to play, but hopefully it's going to be in the next day or 2. I informed both teams I need this all done by Friday so we can get the schedule for GTL out. But again, I want to say thank you to both teams for taking this on short notice, for coming out and doing this. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to everybody in the community, and especially the staff on GTL. Thank you so much, guys, for coming out, not only playing this season, but for coming out tonight and playing as well. Greatly appreciated. Two great teams. Thank you very much.
Yeah. GTL wouldn't be anywhere without the teams that have signed up so far.
Right. Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Hey, let's go ahead and do that. Let's do this. Let's have a quick talk about it. This was a quick match. We still have about 7 more minutes. Let's give it big giant shout out and hurrah. ONUR6, great job coming out tonight, guys. PPW, great job.
Yep.
Let's talk about it.
Good games.
Let's discuss. We got a few more minutes. Let's go right over here to rankings.
Who's up next? No.
So for rankings right now, that brings PPW into the only rank that's changed right now is it brings PPW into the championship league along with Immortals, Nightmare, L7, KMD, and Panda. So those 6 teams right now are confirmed. The other potential 3 teams, there's still 3 teams in the running for it, is ONUR6, Ready 5, and Halfway Human / HN.
HN has come a long way. Like,
They have.
What? Like, you guys have picked up, or they, I guess I should say now, because they're their standalone team now, right?
They're still.
Where did they get these players from? Like, I'm playing pubs now, and I'm seeing these dudes like, because Clone Commander, this dude just put up casually 6K the other day, and I was like, well, dang.
Clone Commanders, I think, just looking at HN's roster, they're still a part of Nightmare.
Yeah, of course.
He's probably, in all honesty, he's one of my favorite players in HM because I think he's really good. I think he's very underrated, if you will.
So, is this going to be? You don't have to answer it, but is it going to be like? I don't want to say feeder clan, but kind of like you're there,
Nope.
you learn, you're out, or is it going to be their own standalone clan? No matter how
They're
it's
kind
gonna be
of they're kind of their own standalone in a way. I guess it all comes down to, I guess, what's happening between the 2 teams. Like if Halfway Human needs some players, then they'll get some players from Nightmare.
Yeah, like when you
Nightmare
guys
needs
played,
some players, they'll
when
get some
they
players
played
from HM.
PPW. Yeah.
Yep.
Because and then the disparity in skill, is already caught up. Like these guys are really good. They're a team that's not gonna be pushed over.
They're on the same level. They're on the same level.
Yeah, they've made huge leaps and bounds in calling and players.
Marcos, what's up?
Like they're their own team now. I guess
Their
you could
caller is they have 2 callers. They have Valuable Racer and they have It's Speedy. Will be the 2 callers for Halfway
say. Because I
Human.
know Dojo is always there helping with them.
Yeah,
And
just
he's
to,
always
just to tell everybody that the logos going across your screen really fast. Those are not a lot of these teams. This is just the history of like World of Tanks and all the teams that ever participated, like in the community and WCTs, WCLs. So don't think that you see like, oh my God, 7K's back. No, or 7F's back. No, they're not back. This is just
Is the old Crypt logo in there?
yeah, it is. I think there's actually 3 different versions.
Memories. Memories, man. It hurts. No.
So I think one thing I want to mention that I don't know if people were paying attention when I might have said it a couple of times. I don't know if I ever really said it in an announcement. This season, what we're doing differently than, again, like I mentioned earlier about tracking stats and whatnot, we plan to track individual player stats. This season, unlike the last couple, or really in any other tournament,
we might make a fantasy league?
Nope, not going to try that. That's really tough to do. But what you're going to see is tracking kills, deaths, games played, wins and losses are going to be the basic numbers tracked. We're not going to try to keep track of damage or anything like that.
Kind of like WCL.
Kind of like WCL, except individual player. For instance, if you played in 5 games and you killed 10 tanks and died twice,
So how are we gonna? Being GTL staff, I knew all of this. I'm just asking it for the viewers, of course.
No, absolutely.
But I'm joking about that, by the way. But how are you gonna put all this together? How are we gonna, are we gonna be there, notepad and pen, or we're gonna be
so that's a very good
technical and
question.
fancy?
Very good question. So basically, after every game, every team has to, the home team is responsible for submitting the screenshots if there's no moderator, or the moderator will submit screenshots. But ultimately, it's up to the home team to make sure that the games get posted with a screenshot, which, if you read the rules,
Yep.
is in the rules of the tanks, the names, the kills.
Check those rules this season, people.
Everything. So that needs to be in there. That basically, that information is taken by a team of statisticians. They'll enter all that data in. They'll give it to me, and I will post it on the website. I'll try to link individual player names to their own pages, basically. And if we have screenshots from in-games, from streams, we'll put that on there for them as well. But something else that's going to be interesting, and we'll get more into this later because I don't have all the details for you. But at the end of the season, there's going to be a couple of awards that we are going to give away. And we're going to give away some money with those awards. MVPs, most kills.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that
simple things like that. That's KD.
What I'm hearing is that I should use my teammates in GTL this season to get more kills.
That's cannon fodder. Yes, sir.
I can't wait to play my 50B and, you know, let everyone else take the shots.
Just hold
and
the clip to the end.
Kills.
Hold the clip to the end.
Heck yeah, then I just swipe all the kills. Or when I'm calling, I'm just gonna play waffle every game and just, you know, how ranked goes. To get boost my stats, this is what I tell the end of every game to my team. Just, hey guys, boosting my stats. So we can literally, this season, you can literally say you're boosting your stats when you play people.
Right. So do you want to talk about the Pro League?
Absolutely. So in the Pro League, I'm gonna have to go look. I can tell you some of the teams offhand. I know you're gonna have Punished. There's gonna be one slot that's still up for grabs. We know that. You have a combination, or two slots. I'm sorry, two slots. You have the AMD RNC game coming up tomorrow. That's going to determine one, and you still have the possibility of HN, Ready 5, and ONUR6. So then you have Punished, also in the Pro League. And I think one favorite team that kind of hasn't gotten enough recognition yet, but was kind of at the cusp, is Selva.
Right.
They're actually a really good team, and they're right up there with them.
Dude, yeah, that
JP Negri's team, by the way.
Yeah, it is JP Negri's team. Him and Casador's team.
Shout out to Selva.
Right.
You also have CZR. They
dude,
won the Intermediate League last season. They're a good team. Don't let them
They've
fool you.
been performing ladder. And if you go over the ladder, well, that's what most of this was based off of. If I'm, you know, not all mostly based off of ladder, but we took. I know a lot of people were wondering. I know quite a few mods got, you know, PMs. If they, you know, I got a few PMs myself saying what these were based off of, and I'd say when we talked about it, most of it was based off your global map performances. Quite a bit of the last Russian tournament. I know not many North American teams, but as for EU, quite a bit of it was based off of that. You know, a few of the mods, you know, who scrim other teams regularly, will know where they stand, where these teams stand for every ranking. You know, so that's how most of it was just based off of.
It was tough.
We're not just pulling it out of thin air. Yeah, it was tough. We're not pulling this out of thin air.
To.
Like, that's why
you can
we have these matches here.
Absolutely. I mean, you could compare WN8s, and you could say, well, this guy's WN8's higher than this guy's, but that it has everybody
means nothing.
tell you that doesn't always translate to a win.
Right. Well then,
I mean, that's.
I want to look like XF.
What it is, but...
XF is a new team, isn't it?
XF actually is
rated R.
Rated R.
Rated
yeah,
R?
that's all rated R's.
I know some of them went to NFTG, then some went to HN.
Right.
No, not some. I think you guys just picked up. It was NFTG HN. Either you guys, but I know NFTG picked up Raging Warrior and all of them.
Yeah.
And Bents, and the rest went to XF, which is going to be Tubular Killer, Warhawk, and all of those guys. And
guys like Yield to None.
So
Yield to None.
Those guys just
Shoddy Snipe.
Yep. Those are dangerous
individuals
also. And then Decoy.
And I think that's Decoy. And I'll tell you what, that's
a wild card, man. That's a wild card.
That's another team that people should be nervous about a little bit in the Pro League. They're a good team. They could really be in the conversation for Pro. They really could. I think the issue has always been is that the there's just not enough out there that have seen enough games of theirs being played. It's not to say that they're any less of a team. I think sometimes just some teams just aren't as involved as much, and I don't
Yeah.
know if it's language barrier or what it is, but and I think that's why some of the teams don't get the recognition that maybe they deserve. But they're
Yeah.
definitely not going to be a pushover, and of course that brings us to the last team I think that we have in the pro league, and that's going to be eighth.
Eighth.
And I know there's been a lot of turmoil with them over the last couple of months or whatnot, but at the same time, they're definitely not a bad team. They're definitely somebody that can go out and compete, regardless of what anyone thinks of them. They're definitely a team that, like I said, they have the players, they can compete, and they're definitely not going to be a pushover. I know Iron Curse has been working on calling for them. He's been doing a good job on calling for them, and he's definitely a good
Mhm.
player. And I think he'll do a good enough job to
Yep.
make them very competitive in the pro league.
Yeah. Iron Curse was with us in Crypt. He's a good
Definitely a
guy.
good player. Yep.
Yeah, eighth came out and showed out. Last one. Yeah.
They
Only
did
thing we
beat
don't see
KMD.
is 12 Panzer.
They did
Yeah.
take KMD
did.
out in one of the last couple of tournaments.
Right. All right. Now I'm super excited because in the intermediate league, I got some favorites coming out in there. But I do have to say one other thing: the pro league, seeing Ready 5
Steel
come out.
Dragons, gotta give them a shout out.
Yep. Give big giant shout outs to Steel Dragons, TG, SKB, Devil, THT, AV, HBC. I've watched a lot of these guys play on WNF.
I know those guys too.
So I want to give.
It's kind of weird.
I know AGBR did pretty good last year too.
Yes.
They didn't quite make it all over the top, but they were performing.
I mean, it's kind of hard because there's so many teams in the intermediate that could definitely be in pro, and it's tough to rank all those teams.
THT is one of them, I think. Tom Hunter and True is one of them. They have quite a few experienced players.
All those teams are right there together.
I think everybody Thrawn about it. I think they can do it. If Thrawn's watching, I think you guys could,
I think they definitely can. And here's the thing that I think people also have to understand is regardless of what league people play in, at the end of the season, so the way it works is the top 8 teams from the EU Championship, the top 8 teams from the North American Championship will be the first seeds 1 through 16 in a bracket style tournament. You will then have 16 seeds coming from the EU Pro, NA Pro, and NA Intermediate. So originally we had it all detailed of what teams were going to be where, but since we don't have an intermediate league in the EU, that means more teams are going to get bumped from the NA Pro, the EU Pro, and the NA Intermediate. So just because you didn't play in the Pro or you didn't play in the championship doesn't mean you're not going to be in the big show at the end.
That's awesome.
Yep. So at the end of round 1, the way we kind of decided to do this at the end of round 1, the teams that win round 1 are supposed to make up the EU Championship and the NA Championship. However, the kicker is going to be what if we end up with 9 EU teams and, let's just say 7 NA teams. How do you deal with that? Well, at that point, it's going to come down to the 8th NA team. Well, number one, we'd give the EU team the option to play for the Northeast Championship. I'm guessing they're not going to want to because, well, the time difference. So the solution to that is, well, whichever 8 teams for EU go further, or whichever team was seeded higher to begin with, if they both end in the same round. Same thing applies to the NA side. If only 7 teams get out of the first round, what do you do to get an 8th team? Well, the 8th team will be the highest seeded team going into the tournament that got eliminated last. So basically, if you've only played 1 round, the highest seeded team in that tournament that didn't make it through the first round would make up that last spot. And then
Ooh.
that's how we'd fill in the pro and intermediate from there.
There you go, guys.
Right.
All
Did you
right,
want to jump into the EU rankings also?
that's up to you
Or
guys.
are we out
Yeah,
of time?
this was the toughest part for me. This was
Heck
definitely
yeah.
the toughest because I can tell you a few good teams out of the EU, but I don't know enough about them. And I'm honest
UNL
about
is
that, and I asked for a
always
lot of input.
UNL,
And
your
I know
global map
UNL,
winners, you know.
UNL, I don't
Storied.
think anybody would dispute is probably one of the best clans
Yeah.
pound for pound in the game. I don't think anybody would dispute that, whether you're an NA clan or EU clan, everybody knows.
Yeah.
So that
You
was
have
definitely an easy
Corruption,
one.
who always been around forever.
Always been around.
Insanity is a new team. I think that is Kalinka's team, right? In Ruskov.
I believe so. Yes, sir.
Yeah. They were in the French. I think they were not runners up, but they were playing for they were third or fourth in the French league. So I think that they earned a spot there. Then Equinox, OWS, Outlaws, Sparkcore, all of those guys are Equinox. Then, the French champions. They're obviously going to get a spot in the Champions League. IXI, all of your they're mainly Polish. It's gonna be a well-known name in there, infamous name Rexio, of course. And you have Watjus and all of those guys, your usual Polish guys who are always performing pretty good. Another good team that could really contest UNL. UTA, consistent Russian team, been around all the time. Uh, Order 66, I-68, 6I, new clan. They've just popped up. I think they're predominantly German
Yes.
guys. Yes.
They've been around for a while. They've been around for a bit.
Since Global Map.
This
since Global
team
Map.
was
Those
yeah,
guys
yeah,
were
exactly.
beast
Yep.
coding in Global Map.
Yes, sir.
They weren't meme. They weren't meme, but it's a completely different clan. They were with
They were with Immortals.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Of course they have good players. I can't name you off the top of my head. I'm not too familiar with the German league. I'm surprised they
think
came out
Warlock
because I know
is their
DCL is
leader.
going on. Yeah, Warlock. Then the Nyan Corporation. Russian weebs or they're German weebs.
Yeah, I believe they are
They're
German.
they're okay,
Russian.
yeah.
I'm sorry, they're Russian. Russian.
Yeah,
They're
they're Russian weebs. KMD's EU counterpart. But yeah,
Let's see.
those guys have always been a consistent team performing in the EU. I think that's about it. That's gonna be all of your top teams. And we missed out on FNX this time, which is sad to see. But
Yeah. So you guys, they got me on that one. We had thought we had
yeah,
a little mishap with the EU. We were trying to clean up the clutter in the registration channel, and it turned
Yeah.
into having all the registrations deleted. So, some mistakes were made, so we had to have everybody submit their rosters all over again. And we thought for sure that FNX had actually signed up, when in fact they said no, we're not playing this season.
Yeah. For Pro League for EU, you're gonna have UTD, which is United France. They were another good performer in the French league. Armored Nightmare, another good French clan that performed well in the French championships. CDRX. Sadly, CDR, I think a lot of you know that the original CDR, they stopped playing. A lot of their players lost the passion to continue playing the game, which is always sad to see a good performing team like that just drop out. I'd say they
Oh,
were
absolutely.
they were the best Italian team, when they were at their peak, of course. But then they said might as well end things on a good note, pretty much, and it was sad to see all of them go. Which they've entered in their second team here. CDRX, which is their trainer team. I know a few of them have joined up with CDRX just to come out this time, but expect them to come out with a good showing. This, not too familiar with them. I know they were in the Russian tournament. They got knocked out somewhat early on, but they showed really good potential, really good play. WOT UK, name explains it. They're from the United Kingdom, and they're new. Yes, they're new, and they've showed good potential. I know that a few of their members have reached out and wanted help with mentorship, and they've performed really well. I think they've given off a few ladder matches here and there, maybe. WIN win. Another Polish team, I think they were in the Russian tournament. That was hosted a while back, aren't too bad. Showed really good potential, so expecting them to come out perform pretty well. LBS, not familiar with at all with them. Not familiar whatsoever. I've seen 3 of their players. They look like a decent roster. Nothing terrible. AWD, I think, is another French team, or they just competed in the French tournament, and they did fairly well. They were a good contender in the tournament also. That's about it for your EU league. Sadly, no intermediate league this year. I think we're missing out on Hunuk, like a few, like the Hungarian clans. Quite a few Russian clans aren't in this year. We're missing OMX
BTK.
and a few other. Yeah, BTK. BTK sadly disbanded.
Phoenix.
We're missing a few other.
There was a
FNX,
Phoenix
of
and an
course.
FNX.
Yeah. No, Phoenix with the 1 is NA.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
can't think of the name off the top of my head. Who owns it?
I forgot who that
It's
was.
Hitman PC. Yeah.
Yeah.
The man with the most played games on WOT.
All right. So,
I think that wraps up all the rankings there, though.
and I think that
EU champs are definitely a powerhouse of teams, though. Expect a lot to come out of them. And then I think we're good to go here.
all right. All right. Well, all right, guys. Here we go. Got the tank handed out. Big shout out to ONUR6 and PPW. Congratulations going out to PPW. Thank you so very much. Big shout out to Sinister. Big Slice. Thank you guys for having WNF come out and do this for you guys.
Oh, we
Pleasure
appreciate
is
it.
all
Thank you so
ours,
much.
man. Like, having good coverage is always, amazing to see because it allows everyone to, continue playing calm, which is the real reason we're all here.
Right.
This is just, help with the community and everything. It's always good to see this.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, guys. Well, from everybody here, Wednesday Night Fights, we can't wait to see you tomorrow night. And super exciting GTL kickoff. Everybody have a great evening. We're out of here. Peace. I'll turn on some music while we get out of here. How about that?
Wait, so we had one game tonight?
Yeah, that was it.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I just need